Hi everyone, thanks for watching today. I hope you've been enjoying these daily Advent videos. It's been so great to see some faces that we haven't seen for a while, so I'm here today to bring you another Advent video about another name that Jesus actually calls himself, and that is the Vine. Egan's here with me today, and he's going to help me out. In John chapter 15, Jesus tells his disciples, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener." The timing of this conversation is very important. You know why it's important, Eeks?
Because it was his last words.
Some of Jesus' last words to his disciples. And when someone knows they're about to die, the words that they say, they carry a lot of weight and substance. They're not talking about the weather. They're not talking about what's trending on social media. And you listen in close to see exactly what they have to say, because you don't want to miss a word. And so I imagine Jesus, after the Passover meal, they're walking along and Jesus is talking to them, and the disciples are crowding around and he's telling them, "I'm about to go away, but don't let your hearts be troubled. I'm coming back. I will not leave you as orphans. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you." And they turn a corner and they come to a vineyard. What grows in a vineyard, Egan?
Grapes.
Exactly. So they started admiring the beautiful rows of grapes growing there, and some of the clusters of grapes are so huge and healthy, they're hanging almost to the ground. And some clusters in other places aren't very big, and the leaves are kind of withering and they don't look that healthy. And Jesus stops, and then he starts talking about vines. He says, "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing." Do you know much about gardening, Ace?
No.
No,
I don't. You have to just take care of them, like water them.
Yeah. I don't know very much either, but I know enough that if a plant or a tree needs to be connected to the soil in order to get the nutrients to survive and grow. There's a cedar tree out by our place at the lake. Do you remember the tree, the unicorn tree? Yeah. We call it the unicorn tree because it's growing out of a rock at an angle, and there seems to be no soil, but somehow this little tree, it can't be more than 8 feet tall. It grows, and it just amazes me every time I see it. This little tree grows on the north shoreline, so it gets the worst storms, the worst wind, the worst of everything that comes its way, and it still grows. And not only that, in the springtime when the ice thaws, there are big ice flows that crash into that shoreline, and that little tree just keeps on growing. And the only explanation that I have for that little tree continuing to grow is that it is connected to a source. It has a root system that is healthy, that grows down deep. And I think that's what Jesus was getting at when he calls himself the vine. The vine is the source. And it's easy to let our thinking go sideways, and I'll speak for myself. I hate to admit it, but there have been times in the past where I've gotten so busy doing ministry that after it's done, you wonder, did we even pray and ask God to bless our efforts today? Or are we just trusting in our own strength and talent to get the job done? I've been there. God is so good and so kind that he just covers us with his grace, and he allows us to carry on. I'm so glad. God is very interested in our lives bearing fruit. And it's not just for our benefit. We'll get to that in a minute. But we need to stay connected to the vine so our lives can bear fruit. So what does bearing fruit mean to us? It could mean evangelism and winning souls for Christ, but I think there's more. It could also mean good works, our thoughts, our attitudes, our actions that bring glory to our Father in heaven. David Wilkerson, the author of The Prayer of Jabez, wrote another book called Secrets of the Vine, and he says that you bear inner fruit when you allow God to nurture you in a new Christ-like quality. That's what the fruit of the Spirit is: love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, patience, and self-control. That's inner fruit. David Wilkerson also says that you bear outward fruit when you allow God to work through you to bring him glory. Jesus said later on, if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit. God wants us to bear fruit. Now, there are seasons in our lives where maybe we aren't bearing as much fruit as we want or as we should, and the Bible calls it pruning. The gardener prunes those vines that aren't reaching their potential so that they can bear more fruit. Gardeners who grow grapes will prune old growth and also growth that just isn't producing. They know that if they create space for new growth, there's a better chance for more fruit to come. And these pruning times are hard. I've been there. Maybe you've been there at one point or another yourself. It hurts because God is cutting away those areas of our lives where we need to submit. He's taking away the things that aren't producing fruit, that fruit of the Spirit that we talked about earlier. So new branches and new growth can come that will glorify Him. The key in those pruning seasons is to stay connected to the vine because the vine is your source. Create space for God to work in your life today. He is the master gardener. He sees your potential. Other people around you may not see your potential, but the Creator God who made you, who formed you, knows your future and your potential. Do you want your life to bear more fruit? Stay connected to the vine.
Bye.
Merry Christmas. God bless you.